If you've struggled with stress, balance, or burnout, and simply feel discouraged or even defeated, and if you're ready to move from force to flow and enjoy ultimate Zen success in your career, health, or relationships, then the Zen Success Show is for you. Your host, Carissa Sims, is an entrepreneur, corporate consultant, best-selling author, meditation teacher, and healer who has found her own Zen success. Here's your host, Carissa Sims. Welcome to this week's episode of Zen Success. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Nick and Mike Sebastian. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks.
It's my pleasure. I love your energy and joy. It's contagious. So your laughter and everything. So where are you connecting from today?
Detroit. We're in Detroit right now. Yeah, where are you at?
I'm in Lafayette, Colorado.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah. It's about 20 minutes from Boulder. We were talking a little bit about my background, and Dr. Nick was saying that it reminded her of the aura reading over time. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. What we will get into today with your audience is sharing one magic word or one-step therapy, a fabulous technique for unfoldment. But over time, Michael and I had our aura photos taken over the course of 15 years while using the one magic word and capturing it in aura photography, the unfoldment in colors in the aura pics. So Michael and I had the photos done together, and you can see the real earthy colors in the beginning, and in the ending, there's all your purples and blues and your yellows and whites. So we were able to capture it, in the aura pics, which we didn't intend. That wasn't our intention, but it's really cool that we managed to capture it.
Yeah, they use Kirlian photography, and it really shows the effects, long-term effects, when you basically use certain vibrations or meditations or contemplations, however you want to say it, and do them over a long period of time. It literally spiritualizes our consciousness, and you can see it pretty dramatically through the Kirlian photography of two people who were fairly earthy, and when it went to a higher spiritual level of consciousness reflected through the different higher colors in Kirlian photography.
Oh, see, there's the evidence that your spirit is rising and changing colors. I've never had that photography done on me before. That sounds really fun. And to see that comparison.
Yeah. And what else is really cool? Children, the age of 5 and younger, they remember their past lives, but they also can see auras. Okay. So, we actually tested it with a client, and her daughter was in the room with us with the session. And we said, why, what colors do you see around mommy? And so she said, the colors. And then she said, what colors do you see around me? And she said some yellows and whites. And I actually had the aura photo there to show her. Yes, it was so cool. It was a cool moment because the kid was spot on, and I had the photo to back it up. And that's the other reason that kids color outside the lines, because they can see auras.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow, you're blowing my mind right now.
And one last piece. If you ask a child, what were you when you were big? Because they remember. Mm-hmm. They will tell you, but it's got to be in the right setting, like not around a lot of people. What were you when you were big?
That's how. And then so you're saying that all children, I thought there was only some that could remember past lives.
All of them.
Oh, wow.
Up until the age of 5, as they're going on 6, the curtain, as it's called, gets pulled. So they no longer remember those past lives, essentially, so it won't interfere with their going forward in this life, because it's a real distraction. I mean, it's a real positive effect, but if we see those things, we tend to get distracted and look backward on those other lives, as opposed to being present in the moment and focusing.
it's interesting. I do psychic readings, and I can see people's past lives. And I know my daughter was a princess, and maybe a lot of us were royalty in past lives, it's not like unique, but she brings that energy into this life, like expecting me to do things for her, like this royal attitude, like this is dishes. I am not touching them. And I'm like, you are not a princess in this life, okay?
Get over it.
Get over it. And she has this recognition. She's like, okay, all right. But she's still quite not integrated. I don't know. But she's older. So she's
That's really cool.
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah.
But I just wanted to share with our audience because just so you know, this is a dream team here. Okay. You'll see here, Dr. Nick and Mike Sebastian, they're a dream team, and they have been doing this a long time, and they are truly experts. So I want to share a little background about them. We just started talking because I was curious about why my prayer flags inspired them. So they are the co-founders of Divine Guidance Institute and Wellness Center, Inc., a modern day mystery school, and the Dream Team, celebrity life coaching and creators of the Trust Yourself system and Trust Yourself therapy. Visionaries, Reverend Dr. Nicole and Michael Sebastian, aka the Dream Team, are celebrity therapists, expert decision coaches, authors, celebrity dream experts, celebrity life coaches, and relationship experts. Innovators of one-step solution and one-step therapy. Known as modern-day oracles, they deliver wise counsel through traditional methods, coupled with the unique tools of dreams. I love dreams. Oh, sound, synchronicity, intuition, and quantum physics for guidance and directions. This is what Trust Yourself is all about. They are also authors. They have written Trust Yourself, Master Your Dreams, Master Your Destiny, a personal roadmap for knowing. And they've written other books too, right? Trust Yourself Therapy, 9 Steps to a Quantum Transformation. So you can look them up on their website. And I also wanted to bring up, they are co-founders of Soulmates R Us, a relationship dating service specializing in spiritual connections. So is the spiritual dating service, is that just like they hire you as a consultant?
Yes. Actually, because the Dream Team was coined long ago on a TV show we went on. They said the Dream, then they called us the Dream Dudes. Actually, this is like probably 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, they thought you were going to be a guy? Dr. Nick. Yeah, that's those stereotypes about doctors.
Yeah. So then it unfolded into the Dream Team because Michael met me in a dream. So we met in a dream, number one, and number two, we're dream experts, and number three, we're a dream of a team. So that's where the Dream Team kind of came from, So with meeting in a dream and using the tools of dream signs and intuition in any area, whether it's relationships, hence soulmates, or, health, decision-making, the tools give you superior knowledge, wisdom, information, data to make your choice. So that's how we incorporate things a little differently and take it to the next level, whether it's therapy or dating, or decision-making type stuff. So.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's amazing. So you two are married, and how long have you been married?
Actually, go ahead.
29 years married, 30 years together. And
okay.
Like Nick said, I met her when I was teaching college in Texas. I taught at multiple universities across the United States. Anyway, when I was teaching there, I'm a sociologist. I was teaching sociology. I had a real clear dream one night, like a lucid dream. And when I woke up, I wrote it down. Good thing, because like all other dreams, I forgot it. But in the dream, there was a girl named Nicole, Nick, and she had brown eyes, looked just like Nicole. And flash forward 3 years later, after having that dream, I'm still teaching at the college sociology, and who walked into my sociology class and sat in the front row? The dream girl, Nicole. So there you go. Eventually, when I remembered the dream and put two and two together, I realized that dreams can be prophetic, and they're giving us a message of something that's going to come into our life, possibly change our life, as this one did. And it allowed me to realize how important dreams are, and to start really paying attention to them, because they are a bridge and a snapshot to the future.
Wow, that's amazing. So did you have any hesitancy because she was your student?
Go ahead, tell her you.
Actually, okay.
It's okay in Texas right now. I'm just teasing.
How it really went down, I was 24 at the time, and the first day of class, we were waiting. As Michael said, he didn't remember the dream, right? So we're in class waiting for the teacher to walk in, and the minute he walked in, the intuition, the inner voice started screaming, "Soulmate, you guys have a mission. You're going to marry this guy." And he's twice my age at the time. Okay, I was 24. He was 50, 26 years older than me. And I ran home. I told my roommate, I'm going to marry this guy in a heartbeat. She thought I was nuts. And then I decided to stay quiet. So I never spoke of it again, but I knew what I knew. And I did not mention it to Michael. I finished the class, got an A on my, own merit, and then saw him in the hallway the next semester. And that's when I asked him out. I said, "Hey, let's do lunch." So we did lunch the next day, then dinner the next day after that. Then we were engaged in 90 days, married in 9 months. Now, he still didn't remember the dream. And I didn't tell him about my intuitive hunch, like this whole thing, like, we're supposed to be married, bro. Like, I didn't, drop that bomb. We just kind of, went along with things. Now, on our dinner date, my license plate, KRW, were the initials of his first wife. So he saw the sign, synchronicity, that it's a serious relationship, but he didn't share that with me. So we're here gathering our data inwardly, not sharing it because it's pretty bizarre. Like, hey, we're supposed to get married. What? So slowly as things unfolded, then Michael had the déjà vu, which is French. It means having seen before. And all a déjà vu is a forgotten prophetic dream, a dream of the future. And meeting it's like, God, this is familiar. That's what a déjà vu is. So then Michael had the déjà vu, and here we are. So yeah,
that's amazing. So I guess when you asked Michael out, then Michael, you knew, okay, I guess she might be attracted to me and like me.
Actually, it was humorous because I said sure. So we went to a place for lunch, and pretty standard. A lot of my students asked for recommendations to graduate school, so I was expecting that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that you thought maybe it was his friends. Yeah.
I was expecting. I said, "What can I do for you?" And she said, "Well, I thought we might date."
You said that? Oh my God, for real.
And we were both dating people at the time. I was dating people, she was dating people, and we kind of stepped right into it and stopped dating those people and started dating each other. And it was like, whoa. And it was very prophetic.
Okay, so you guys work together, you write together, you work with clients together. You seem like glued at the hip. You do these podcasts together. What is the secret to having this deep connection and this long, happy marriage?
I'm so glad you asked that because, someone asked us the other day, what's the one thing that J-Lo and Ben could have done as an example? And
they got back together again, didn't they?
No, that was a
media
headline
thing. Oh, spicy headline. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't follow those.
And it's the same answer that I would give them or any couple that we work with. And it's again, we goes back to one magic word, the hue, which is a good time to share it with your audience.
We can talk about that now. Go ahead.
Okay. HU hue, and I'll give you a demo, then we'll talk about the science and the spiritual component. All you do is inhale, and on the exhale, hue.
Should we do it together?
Sure.
Because it was so interesting when you started hewing, the sound muted. It was almost like too powerful or something.
Wow.
Sometimes technology does that. When your energy is too powerful, it cuts out.
Sure.
Or if you're not meant to hear it.
Yeah, right. That's happened a lot.
But what do you want to all do it together and we could try? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
You can start and then I'll join in.
Okay. Hue.
Hue. So how long do you do this note for?
Okay. So the hue, up to 20 minutes per day, but you can break it up. It's so user friendly. Oh, wow. You can do 4 or 5 minute sessions, 2 10-minute sessions. You could do it just before bed or when you're starting your day. You can do it out loud or silently, eyes open or closed. This is how user friendly it is. So you can do it while you're doing the dishes or while you're in a business meeting. And we call it the Holy Grail and the universal panacea. And here's why. Well, the results, but historically, if you go back to the Oxford English Dictionary, the word human, it comes from the word human, which actually means God-man. Human, God within man. Yes, yes, yes. That's why it's so powerful. Hue is an ancient sacred name for God. Then we continued doing our research and we found it in 14 different religions and their sacred book. So now you've got like a framework, even in Egypt, 5,000 years ago, they used to hue at the Sphinx from dusk until dawn. So, yeah.
And the Sphinx itself, before the Greeks came in and changed the name, in ancient Egypt, the Sphinx was originally named Hu, H-U. And it was an ancient name for God, and they called it Hu for that reason. That's why the whole community got together and hewed from dusk till dawn to change the vibration. There's a lot of words you can use because people will go, well, how is it different from the Om? It's very different from the Om. The Om only goes up to a certain dimension or plane within our universes. The hue goes all the way up. There's over an infinity of dimensions, but quantum physics says there's 11 or 12 that they've been able to identify mathematically. And the hue is right at the top. It comes straight from the top all the way down. So I always like to quote in the Bible that's John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God. I studied with the Jesuits for 4 years in high school. It was good news, bad news. And anyway, I would always say, hey, Father, what in God's name is that? What is the Word? And they did not know the Word. And Nick and I found it eventually.
The Word is God in Bible, and that's what it means, hue?
Yeah.
And it's a sound that created literally everything. And it's pure sound and pure ultimate spiritual power. You can create a universe with it, or like in the other stories, biblical stories, they used instruments to create that sound, and it tears the walls down. I mean, just blows them.
The Battle of Jericho, things like that. It was they used trumpets, but so it's that vibration. Now let's go to the scientific. There's vibrational therapy, there's vibroacoustic therapy. We've even tested it with EEGs, with oximeters, with the aura photography. So we've tested the heck out of this word, right? And used it with our clients for 25 years with field research. So vibrational therapy is just using vibration. Vibroacoustic is using sound and vibration, but it's typically using something outside of ourselves, like a CD or a pillow. So in using the hue and speaking scientifically, we've used the hue for 25 years with clients, whether it's stress or anxiety, addiction, suicide. Michael used it to get over the PTSD symptoms from Vietnam even. Yeah, so it's a real useful tool. And then in doing our research, field study, oximeter data, EEG data, the aura photography that we mentioned earlier in pictures. And, it's really based on vibrational therapy, and there's vibroacoustic therapy. Vibrational therapy uses just vibrations. Vibroacoustic is sound and vibration combined, but usually it uses an outside apparatus or instrument, such as a pillow or a chair or a CD, to affect our electromagnetic field. So here's the cool thing with the hue. It's two simple letters that you do and it changes you from the inside out. It's a combo of sound and vibration, but it's not using anything outside of you. It's using you. So it's ultra cool and ultra fast. So
yeah, that's so interesting. I don't know why I was thinking about this, but there is a food company named Hue. Have you ever seen that? It's natural chocolate and natural crackers. Yeah.
Yeah. The Hue candy bar. Yep.
Yeah. Using the power of Hue. So maybe they knew that and starting that company and naming their company that. I mean, I want to get into how you healed all these things and how Hue helped your relationship, because I started by asking you, what is the secret? And you were saying Hue. So what does that mean, like in application?
So here's the thing. And yes, thank you for bringing us back on point. The clients, I have clients, and here it is. It's our state of consciousness, right? And everyone's got, I call it your SOC, your state of consciousness. And we're in harmony or we're not. You meet people, they have a good vibe or a bad vibe, and that's what we pick up on. And ultimately, it's just our central nervous system and the rate and frequency at which our atoms are vibrating. That's your vibe. It's also known as a quantum signature. So when you hook up with people in relationships, whether it's friends or intimate, we're either in harmony or not. So if we're not, then, and they say, opposites attract. It's like, no. Opposites attract for about 10 minutes. Then the truth comes out. And so your SOC manifest in a myriad of ways, such as your favorite food. You've got a master's degree. You love Italy. You believe in past lives. You are a Christian. Your favorite color is red. You live in Texas. All these things are a manifestation of one's state of consciousness. Mm-hmm. So when you're choosing a mate, or when it's good to keep this in mind. If you have a similar vibe, similar SOC, you're going to have a successful relationship. Now, most people, the only way they can tolerate each other is by having a man cave and girls' night out. It's like the only way they can, sustain their relationship is by having these other things to break up the vibe, if you will. So what we suggest, and actually not suggest, we're pretty emphatic about it. If two people are not harmonious and these two people want to make it work, add the hue, start hewing separately.
Okay.
And it will harmonize things, because what it does, it brings you up to your higher self. Mm-hmm. Your higher self starts running the show. And when our higher self is in control, we start more loving, more giving, that higher level.
Got it. It's our true essence comes forth, which is compassionate and kind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's you can even see it as a quantum physics thing. And I've been reading quantum physics for 20 plus years, and I'm not a quantum physicist. I don't do the math part, but I understand the concepts, and it's real simple. The whole universe is made up of vibes, vibration. That's it. That's all there is. Your couch looks like a couch, but that's an illusion. If you could see it at the quantum level, it's vibrating, has a certain vibration. So people have those vibrations also. And as Nick was saying, if one's here and one's down here, you need to harmonize the vibrations so you're on the same frequency or close to the same frequency. That way you're in harmony. And when we hue, we tend to harmonize those vibrations. And it's pretty interesting because when we change the frequency, we actually literally change our reality. We change the frequency, we change our reality. Maybe, at a certain frequency, it looks like we're here. But if I go inward and change that frequency with hueing, I'm able to project literally to wherever I want to go, Venus, Jupiter, another star system. It's kind of like C, no, B. By changing the frequency, I change the reality by going into it. And that's why people are able to, I healed my PTSD, no docs, no meds, no therapy. I was on my way to see the docs at the Veterans Administration. Instead, I started hewing. And within a short period of time, all my severe anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, nightmares, they all lessened. And eventually, boom, they were gone.
Through hewing. Yeah. And you just intuitively decided to try it, or did Dr. Nick pressure you?
Actually, this is cool. I'm glad you mentioned this. Okay, so we mentioned it's in 14 different religions and their sacred book, right? There is a current modern day religion that's so cool that they use the hue. They recommend hewing regularly.
Oh,
so we found the hue through a path, a spiritual path called Eckankar.
Okay.
Eckankar, Eckankar. Eckankar. It's known as the path of spiritual freedom.
Okay.
Right? So they talk about the hue and using the hue. So that's where we found the hue. Then in doing our own research, we went, wait a minute, Egypt, you've got the word human in the Oxford English Dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 13 other religions, in addition to Eckankar, that use the hue, and it's in their sacred text historically. But modern day, it's as if they have forgotten about the Holy Grail, if you will. So Eckankar was how we found it. And then the research, we were able to track it and trace it back, thousands of years. And then through experience, it's like, wow, it's the real deal. So
we were doing a show called In Your Dreams in New York, filming it. We were the dream experts, and they had clients that came on. We worked through their dreams with them on camera. They filmed the whole thing. And we were hewing with one of the clients, and then we went on a break. And one of the camera crew came in, and he said, wow, I love that hue. I haven't heard it in so long. I said, heard it? You're familiar with it? He said, yeah, I'm a druid. I said, I've never met a druid before. Oh, this is good. And the druids had the hue 4,000 years ago, and they still hue, but there's not many druids around. So it was an interesting experience.
What is a druid? I thought that was a mythical character from like Ireland or from like Lord of the Rings or something.
It was a major.
It's right in the hue book, right here. Let me go
just say hue. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's also here. Let me give you all the religions we found the hue in. It's really really cool. Buddhism,
Buddhism. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Christianity, Celtics, Druids, Freemasons or the Masons, Gnosticism, Islam, Judaism, Kabbalah, the Sikhs, the Sufis, and Zoroastrianism all recognize the hue in their sacred texts. Yeah. So,
and really for us, we've done our research on it. Most people haven't, but it's really in the testimonials and our clients.
Yeah.
Well, we give them and a lot of them are they're addicted to everything, all the way from heroin and methadone and you name it. We share the hue with them. It's like it's too powerful for the
I'm wondering,
current consciousness to handle. In some cases that does occur, and it's like, whoa. But yeah, all our clients would try it, and they would start coming down in without changing what they're doing with their addictions. they would add the hue, and suddenly they're doing, they're doing less and less of the drugs. So it really works, and it works very quickly and effectively. So,
But did they stop altogether, or you don't know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Eventually they did.
yeah.
Eventually
Yeah.
they did. Okay.
Yep.
Wow, that's incredible. Have you guys been to Egypt? And did you
No, but it's on the
at the
list.
Sphinx? Okay. I was just wondering if you, because when you go to, okay, so I've been to Egypt, and it's like a remembering. You're like, oh yeah, we've been here before. And I wonder if everyone has, that Egyptian past life experience. But anyway, the Sphinx, they're very restrictive of the Sphinx.
Mhm.
So you have to pay extra to reserve the space. And then I felt that frequency around it, because I didn't realize I needed to pay and reserve a time, but I was around there. I was in the other pyramids, but you could feel that power of all the pyramids, of course, are you could feel the power, and I've been in the other ones, but the Sphinx felt like this is very sacred, and someday I'll go back and I'll be able to go in. But I'll be very curious when you guys travel there and go to the Sphinx, and if you can feel that frequency.
Yeah, since we just incorporated our nonprofit in April, Divine Guidance Institute, as a modern day mystery school. And, so we're going to go to Egypt to do some research, and Greece with all the Oracle locations.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to sneak into the Sphinx at night and do our thing. But I mean, you hit a good point too. And I this much I know. And because you said, I wonder how many people have that Egyptian past life. I have run into so many people. I mean, strangers sometimes out of the blue would walk up and ask me, do you remember me from Egypt?
No way.
Yeah. Vibrations from Egypt. And I guess they recognized me in this lifetime, and they just bust out laughing like, Mike, come on. Okay, it's a vibe thing. I got it. And there's a lot of those people on the planet right now who have reincarnated. And it's interesting with the Sphinx, because, I mean, if you read Edgar Cayce at some point, he said in the paw of the Sphinx is the records from Atlantis, the old Atlantis civilization. And he said they would be found. He predicted they were to be found back in early 70s, late 60s, which hasn't occurred. And I'm wondering, it's either they're still there, or the government found them and is holding them and not telling anybody, one or the other. I would guess the government.
Yeah. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, they don't want to put that out. Yep.
They got them. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. It's crazy, because it felt like the Hall of Records. It felt like Akashic Records felt like the Sphinx. I felt like they're the same. Well,
picked up on the vibe.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very good.
We call it reading the fabric, and essentially that's what you did when you were there. You picked up on the vibration. You didn't know that those were ever in the paw, as Michael mentioned, but you picked up on the vibe. Yes, we call it knowing without knowing how or why you know, but you just do. And through the tools of the hue and dream signs and intuition, you can come into full knowingness on anything. Is my deceased grandmother in heaven? Is she okay? Should I move to Texas? Is my spouse cheating? Any question that someone has, they can come into full knowingness with these tools. They're really tools of Holy Spirit. But the cool thing is, I always say, even the atheist dreams every night. Even the atheist has had a gut feeling, and even the atheist has witnessed a coincidence or a synchronicity. So see, it's not about, atheist or I believe. It's really about, as we're constructed mechanically as soul and as a human, these things are on autopilot 24/7. Dream signs, intuition, dreams while you're sleeping, signs and intuition while you're awake. And if you use the hue, the sound element, the vibration, it turns up the volume on all of our abilities.
I understand. I want to hear some success stories, and you've shared some of them about like yourself. I mean, your marriage, which is incredible, the PTSD, which is like, wow. I mean, a lot of people might have a hard time believing. And I do believe, but I also want to try it. You know, I also want to experience it and see what kind of effects it can have in my own life. For example, now I'm single, recently single. I got divorced in May. So if I start doing this hue, could it be that a soulmate or someone who is at my vibration might come to me faster?
Well, absolutely, because you're going to, harmonize your own atoms. Because remember, it's central nervous system, and our atoms are subatomic particles.
Okay.
And that's what we're constructed of. So the more we hue, we come into alignment with our higher self. It's in the old days, they used to give a car a tune-up, and they change the spark plugs and do this and that so it would run smoother.
Yeah.
Really,
it's like
the hue is how we can tune up our central nervous system, come into your fullness and your higher self. So you're automatically going to turn on your magnet, if you will, and you're only going to attract things of a higher level that's in harmony with you. So it's a win-win regardless. And things that aren't in harmony, they will naturally gravitate in another direction. So it's really on autopilot that way.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I would love to hear, do you have any success stories of
oh my gosh,
spiritual dating? Let's share one.
Okay. Well, first let me share these two, because NBC came in and they picked two people, and they said, you guys work with these two people for 1 week and see what happens. Yes.
NBC did this like for a show. Oh my God.
They were
you guys are amazing. You've got great publicity.
Investigative reporters. So they were really like hardcore. And the two people.
Not spiritual, right?
No, not at all. And they were going, we don't know whether to believe any of this or not, but we're going to find out. So they spent a week with us. And also the two people they chose were very skeptical.
Yeah. So they filmed the segment, and then a week later they filmed, the results, and it's on our website, this piece. But anyhow, the one guy, he's like, well, you know what? I'm not smoking as much. So for him, it was about clarity and addiction. 1 week, I'm not smoking as much. And for her, she said, I'm making all these connections. I'm remembering my dreams, and everything is starting to connect. And that was just from using these tools, and primarily the hue, which is why we said, add the hue. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about, overcoming your addiction. Don't worry about a relationship. Just add the hue, and things will naturally unfold. Your desire for that thing will dissipate. Again, you'll end up gravitating, meeting the people that you need to meet. It's all on autopilot. So it's kind of like, don't worry about anything, just add the hue. And what happens is people eventually they stop doing their psychotropic medication. They're not depressed anymore. They're not angry anymore. I had a client, and he was on his methadone and his cigarettes and his Xanax and alcohol and watching a lot of television, and he had rage addiction. He used to carry 20 knives on him. This is one client simultaneously. And I was with him for like 5 years, right? And at first he would not hue. And that's fine. If you're an anti-hewer, that's cool, because there's still other tools he was using, right? So finally he starts hewing. And within a short period of time, everything changed. No more anger, no more knives, no more methadone, no more psychotropics, no more cigarettes. Yes, everything, no more alcohol. Everything shifted just from adding the hue when he was ready. So, oh my gosh, we say, here, this is cool. We just did 2 shows recently, like within the past 2 weeks. And each of the hosts, they tried the hue first. Like he said, I'm having a procedure. What do you got for me? I said, why don't you try the hue? and then we'll do the show, in 2 days. And so he comes on the show. He's like, I hewed, it works. He's like, I don't know why it works or how it works, but I was really nervous for the surgery I was having. This is all on the air too. It's on the show. He said, the hew works. He said, you got to try it. And the other guy, we sent him the hew book. So he starts hewing, and he's on the show. He said, that hew really does work. He said, I don't know why or how. And so yeah, it just does.
Well, yeah, it works with everything. We've had, if you have insomnia, there's a bunch of probably hundreds of testimonials we have of insomnia people who couldn't sleep, and we shared the hue with them, and they were asleep. That's the last thing they remember. They started hewing, and one guy who I had worked with slept. I said, stop it. You'd be dead if you never slept at all. And he goes, Mike, I haven't slept in 3 or 4 months. I said, bull, here, try the hue. And he said, God, I tried it last night. He came in the next day, and he said, I thought it didn't work. I opened my eyes, but 8 hours had passed. And it was like, that's the last thing I remembered. And it works with everything, not only healing, but I've worked with it teaching at a college in LA when we were living in LA in Hollywood. I was doing some teaching at a college, and one of the major teams had sent it was the Lakers. I won't give any names or anything. And the guy wanted to come back to get his MBA. He was a star, superstar. And so they assigned me as his counselor for the MBA. And when I walked in and, I said, so what's keeping you from doing this? I said, why haven't you done it? Getting your MBA. He said, Mike, I'm a major player. I'm a star. He said, I got endorsements. I got a family. I got kids. He said, I'm freaked out that I'm even here. But he said, I'm going to give it a shot because it's an old dream I wanted to fulfill. I said, okay. I said, here, I'm going to share something with you. Try this, and this will get rid of your anxiety and worry and fear. And I shared the hue. And he bust out laughing, and he said, you're kidding me, Mike. I've got all these major problems, and you got me humming? Come on now. I said, hey, bro, don't knock it till you try it. And he said, hey, fair enough. We went our separate ways. A month passed. I had to meet with him again to see how the program's gone. And really just to tease him, when I walked into the room before he could speak, I said, have you been hewing? And he said, Mike, have I been hewing? My family's hewing. And he said, the coach of our team is now hewing. He said, and I'll tell you why. Because it works. He said, I started hewing, and the focus in my game improved so dramatically. The coach asked me, what are you doing differently? And I shared it, and he goes, well, I'm going to do that too. So then all the players started using it. It works. Even if you don't believe in it, it works.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I have this paradigm. So you're kind of giving me a little bit, you're blowing me away a little bit. And I think there's no accident that I met you at this time, because I've been working with this other channeler, and she said that my soul is from the 12th dimension. And you're saying that the hue is from this dimension.
Yeah.
So exactly. I think I'm like, this is like my destiny to start humming or saying this word, but I also have this side of me that has a block, because I feel like we need to eat healthy, and we need to, drink the right water and sleep and have all of this. And then I feel like you're saying this just hue, and it doesn't really matter the other stuff. Is that what you're saying? Or do you still feel that there's an environmental factor and like a therapist that cares, or a healer that cares and sets an intention? Like, how does that fit into everything that we have in life?
The hue is like putting everything on nitrous. So if you're already living a healthy lifestyle, you add the hue, and it's just going to help you soar. And if you're not living such a healthy lifestyle and you add the hue, the negative aspects are going to drop away. The fight leaves. Normally there's a fight. Like, I got to quit smoking. I got to do this.
Yes. It's like this war, right?
Yes. And if we just add the hue, the fight goes away. It becomes an effortless transition. So really, that's what's happening. So we always say, don't change your protocol. If you're on meds, keep them. If you're doing this, keep it. If in time, you feel you can change things, you'll know it and you'll change things. Much of the time people do change their protocol because they find they don't need these things any longer. But we always say, keep everything the same and just add the hue, and you will be shown experientially what's the next step, if you can do without these things.
And, to answer your question directly too, it's from what I've found, because Nick and I work with this all the time for so many years. We live in a dualistic world, law of polarity. With light, there's dark, up, there's down, hot, there's cold. There is no exception to that here. In other dimensions, there are exceptions to that. And it's kind of like you said earlier, you just finished running. And I also run. I've been running for over 50 years. Easily, I've gone around the earth almost 3.5 times now. It's
amazing. So you get me when I say I just finished running. Yeah.
Yes. We need to do the hue. Takes us to a new state of consciousness or awareness inwardly, and at the same time, it fine tunes, like Nick said, everything, and it heals us. But outwardly, because we live in a data hardcore world, we need to watch our diet. We need to exercise. We need to do things in an aware, healthy manner, because we have a body that we need to maintain. At the same time, we're using the hue. So when we use both of them, we get the whole enchilada. We get the whole apple.
True. But the cool thing is it's on autopilot. So we're unique. We are all unique. So what if, you can take anything, whether it's vitamin B or the COVID vaccination. Some things are good for people and some things are not. And since we're unique, it's important to follow that, your higher self, so you do the things that are best for you individually. Because it's not.
I get it.
Yes.
I understand now. That makes sense.
So when you just add the hue, here, let me give you this. The restaurant, we were at the restaurant and the server, and we shared the hue, and then we went back a week later. She said, oh my God. And I actually, it was so dramatic, her story, which I'm going to share, that I actually, as we left the restaurant, I did an Instagram post about her story. She's like, you gave me that hue and I thought it was silly. She goes, but then I tried it before sleep. She said, I have gotten sound sleep ever since. She said, even my tracker data. And then she took pictures of her tracker data. She started showing me her tracker data. She said 8.5 hours, 5 hours of restful sleep, 2.5 hours of REM. It was, her score was a 90. It was either a 94 or a 97. Her oxygen was increased. It was amazing. She said, and then even one morning I woke up too early. So I decided I want to go back to sleep. So then I slept for another 3 hours. Then she said, I even had a healing dream, Nicole. She goes, so tell me what this dream means. She said, I was in the dream. I'm in a building and there's a man standing at the head, and I'm in like 6 inches of water, and he touches my sides. And then he put his hands over my abdomen and I felt pain. And then the pain went away. So she said, and she's got, several ailments. So she said, so I even had this healing dream. And, she said, how do I know? Like, does that mean I need to go get some help, or I need to, or I had the healing? I said, well, you would just look at it this way. Since you had the pain, you experienced pain in the dream, and then the pain went away, you can infer that it was a healing dream. And what you shall do now is just monitor things. If you need to go see someone, you will be shown in another dream or through your intuition, hey, go see Dr. Joe, ... You will be shown. So, but definitely that was a healing dream. So for her, just hewing just 1 week, 10 days, she had all these experiences. That's what we mean. It's on autopilot. It helps a person wherever they need it. Because we don't know, like someone here. Oh, and here's another one for the host at the restaurant. The same restaurant. We gave her the hue. share the hue. We have the hue on a little card.
Oh,
see right here, one
okay.
step therapy. So we can hand this out to people. Doo-doo. Now they've got the hue and the technique, right?
Okay.
So with the host of the same restaurant, gave her the hue, and then we're in there all the time. She said, I had this dream. She had a skunk, a baby skunk, on the side of my head, bothering me. That was the dream. She said, then my neighbors came. I had to go to the hospital to get well. And it happened real quick, and I was fine. What's this mean? Okay. And we didn't even do dreams, that's a whole nother topic. But the message was stinking thinking. Have you ever heard of that term?
Yeah.
Stinking thinking. That's what the skunk on her brain, that was what the message was. She's got stinking thinking negative thoughts, whether it's about herself or another. And in the dream, it was also a healing dream because the neighbors came, they took her to the hospital. She got all fixed up real quick and So it was through the hue. It showed her, it gave her a dream she remembered.
Yeah.
It showed her the problem and the solution.
Gave her the awareness.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh my gosh. Well, I could talk to you probably for like 5 hours, but it's been such a pleasure. Our time is up. Connecting with you both. I just love you guys. I'm sure everyone that meets you is, the hewing, it works. It's your energy. And hearing about this one-step therapy and your amazing books, I just feel like you're in such service to humanity. You just can't help it. Everywhere you go, you're sharing this and spreading your light. So I'll put how to order your books and how to connect with you in the show notes. So thank you, Dr. Nick and Mike, for being on my show today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And we'll be thinking about you when we go to Egypt also.
And let us know.
Please do.
Yeah, we will.
Let us know how the hue is.
Yeah.
When you start hewing.
Okay.
If you start hewing, let us know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You like to hear that feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
That's it for today's episode of Zen Success. Head on over to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to shows. Subscribe to the show and share with friends. Be sure to head on over to ZenSuccessShow.com to help you on your Zen success journey. And join us on the next episode. May you find your own Zen success in life.
With the state of today's economy, it is more important than ever to invest in products that last for years to come. As the seasons shift and get cooler, make sure your closet is stocked with durable layers that stand the test of time from American Giant. American Giant's clothes work harder and are wearable season after season. Their greatest hoodie ever made is made of the highest quality materials that are cut and sewn right here in the United States. So you're investing right back into your local community. Choosing American Giant means taking a stand for American manufacturing and hardworking Americans, something other mega corporations don't care about. From fleece to knit, all in a range of colors for versatile daily wear, American Giant delivers everyday pieces designed for everyday life. Feel the difference of quality made-to-last clothes from American Giant. Get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with code STAPLE20.